Ryan Takeo there. As for the officers, Police Chief Belk also mentioned that the support within the force, there is help to deal with this difficult situation. Chief Belk said that peer-to-peer support teams will be reaching out to those officers involved. Sue?
Brian still here at the live desk. We want to invite you throughout this hour of our coverage of the event to share your story about what happened. So many people are contacting us on Facebook and emailing us to tell us about their experiences. We're streaming live right now, this program, and hosting a live chat of tonight's coverage, and that's at woodtv.com. We want to invite you to share with us how you heard about what was happening, how events were unfolding, and maybe some of the things that you were seeing.
And this story has garnered attention from around the country. Overnight, Governor Rick Snyder released a statement. He says, quoting here, "My sincere condolences and deepest sympathies go out to the families who lost loved ones in a senseless, tragic wave of violence. I commend the brave men and women serving as law enforcement officers, first responders, and emergency personnel who have worked tirelessly to protect citizens and bring an end to this tragedy. The entire state of Michigan stands with the city of Grand Rapids and remains committed to helping the victims, families, and community through this difficult time." And as we go to break, we want to take another look at Ah Nab Awen Park in downtown Grand Rapids as a crowd continues to gather and a candlelight vigil is planned starting in about 15 minutes. We plan to go back there live in 2 minutes to tell you how big business is also already stepping up to help the city heal.
Are you a young person on the brink of responsibility? Then take advantage of Taco Bell's Spend Less Summer. Soon, you'll experience buying in bulk. This is mayonnaise. But for the young bulk shopper, Taco Bell's XXL grilled stuffed burrito, loaded with steak, 3 cheeses, seasoned rice, beans, and lots more. Point being, it's very large.
That thing's ridiculous.
Ridiculous. Spend less and get more this summer with the XXL grilled stuffed burrito, now at Taco Bell.
Free family fun, we're all about it. Every month we give away 100 free prizes, passes to fun places, fun parks, fun stuff. This month we're giving you the chance to win passes to explore Air Zoo in Kalamazoo. Sign up to be one of our 100 winners at MirandaTV.com. Every month, it's new prizes and new chances to win.
Be one of Miranda's 100 winners. Register at Facebook.com/MirandaTV or online at MirandaTV.com.
And all of a sudden, it just felt the kabooms. It felt like an explosion.
I yelled for my husband to go to the basement. I knew what a tornado was.
You recognize the power of it. Day to day, you're just not sure of what's going to happen.
We have a tornado warning.
We have a tornado warning in effect.
Extremely heavy rain and large hail.
Let's put a track on this storm.
Let's go to street level radar. You need to be on the lookout.
We'll be watching so we can keep you and your family safe.
Watching out for you every day. This is Storm Team 8.
This summer, we're watching out for you.
For you and your family.
Lake Michigan can have dangerous rip currents.
It's why we've started Rip Current Alerts, sent right to your phone.
Signing up is easy at woodtv.com.
Get a text or an email anytime there's a rip current risk on Lake Michigan.
Then use caution if swimming. It'll keep your family safe.
Just another way we're watching out for you.
We are back now with our special coverage of Shooting Rampage Standing Strong.
It's a beautiful night in downtown Grand Rapids, and we want to head back now to 24-Hour News 8's Emily Leonard, who is live at Ah Nab Awen Park with information on how some local businesses are already stepping up to support Grand Rapids. Emily?
Thanks, you guys. You know, when tragedy strikes like this, help comes in a lot of different forms, in prayers, in thoughts, in Facebook messages, also in money. And a lot of people out there want to donate some money to the victims in this situation. And Eva Agede Cooper joins me now with some information on how you can do that, West Michigan. Eva?
That's right. You know, we got this information actually started late last night. Today was official. Huntington Bank is opening the Grand Rapids Memorial Fund for the victims, and any West Michigan branch, you can can walk in. They're ready to welcome you for any cash donations. And not only are they accepting funds, because like you said, a lot of people want to help. They've already started the fund with $10,000. So that's great. So people have been asking us here tonight. The organizers were trying to do something, and it's already set up. So any West Michigan Huntington Bank is ready to take money to help these families.
And Huntington started it off with $10,000. So how is that money going to be distributed? Exactly how is it going to be used? That's what people want to know when they donate.
Absolutely. And we weren't sure about that too, because we were just getting information this morning, even after the press conference at the police station with the mayor and everything. So what they're doing is they're going to be working specifically with the mayor's office and the police department. So they're working with them to designate how the families, what they need, because it's true, right now there's 2 families, maybe more. So Huntington Bank is going to be working directly with the mayor's office and the police department to assess the need with the families.
Okay, the Grand Rapids Shooting Victims Memorial Fund. Any Huntington Bank, you don't have to be a member, you can walk in and donate.
Absolutely.
All right, YWCA Kubo. Right, back to you guys in studio.
Okay, Emily, thank you. This entire story is rooted in domestic violence, and we wanted to make sure to give you the resources in case you know anyone who may need some help or some guidance just to be able to talk about something like this. We called on Tom Cottrel, Vice President of the YWCA. We know that each case of domestic violence is very different, but there are some commonalities that we can talk about.
Sure, there are. And the kind of terror that the families lived through last night is something being experienced by many, many families in West Michigan every night who live under the specter of domestic violence. And common themes tend to be fear within a coupled relationship, which should be a tremendous warning sign right there. People feeling like they're restricted and not able to move around, have their freedoms limited. That can take a lot of forms. It can be a physical assault, it can be verbal assault, it can be emotional assault, it can be intruding on rearing children, it can be financial sequestering, it can be separation from faith and other support communities. It can take many forms, but the whole notion that someone is restricted in their movement and they're being disempowered by another individual are hallmarks of domestic violence.
So that isolation.
Correct.
You're talking about. Police confirmed that Dantzler was drinking and using drugs yesterday. We also initially reported that some concerns that he had a mental illness. We can't confirm that yet. We heard that through a family member that he may be dealing with a bipolar disorder and not taking his medication. What do things like that tell us?
With regard to domestic violence, not a lot. Domestic violence can occur without substance abuse, without mental illness, without stress. Those things can exacerbate problems, they can sometimes complicate them, but mental illness and domestic violence are not necessarily linked in any way, shape, or form. Domestic violence is a learned behavior that is really focused on disempowering another person to gain a sense of power and control over different individuals. That can happen with or without mental illness, with or without alcohol.
It's a power thing.
It's a power thing.
Okay. What can you do if someone you know may need help? It could be someone that also is needs help, that might be in a situation where they're being dominated or isolated in that situation. They want more resources. They want to talk about it. They want to explore whether or not they've got a problem. Maybe they don't really know for sure.
Both the YWCA and Safe Haven Ministries have hotlines. Individuals can call us and just get information, kind of walk through their scenario, or friends of friends can do that as well, just to get information and resources about how they can help another individual. One of the key elements is to not keep quiet about it. So much of domestic violence is perpetuated because people turn their backs on it, they're afraid to talk about it, and it thrives in silence. And one of the things I hope that this particular incident can point out for folks is we ought not keep quiet about it. Friends should talk to friends and make sure there's an ongoing communication around it.
What about somebody that's really feeling their anger escalating and they're concerned about whether or not they can handle the things that are going on in their life?
We would really applaud anyone who is in that circumstance and can recognize it and would call and get help. The YWCA has assailant betters intervention programming where we can engage in both group counseling and individual counseling to help individuals through that process so the issues don't get more complicated and more individuals don't get hurt.
Tom Cottrel from the Y, we thank you so much for joining us, and hopefully this information can help people that may be dealing with something like this in their own lives and not keeping it silent, as you mentioned. Thank you, Tom.
Thank you.
Yeah, don't stay silent, indeed. Thank you, Sue. Down here in the newsroom now at the live desk, and Part of what absolutely brought this community to a standstill during all of the events yesterday was that dramatic chase down side streets and highways, cars pulling off to the side of the road as we were all holding our breath, praying that no one else, no one innocent was going to be hurt. 24-Hour News 8's Rick Albin narrated that dramatic footage for us yesterday from the live desk as it was happening. And Rick, you have more on how this story touched a lot of the people involved there.
It did. There were so many people that were potentially in the line of fire, literally. But Brian, something happened that I've really never seen happen in my career, and that is time after time after time, a situation will arise, and the police will ask us to advise you to use extreme caution, stay away, this person is armed and dangerous, and rarely, if ever, do we come in contact with that armed and dangerous person. Doesn't mean that they aren't both, but it means that generally those people are fleeing, trying to get out of an area, and you don't run into them. Well, in this case, this individual stayed right here in Grand Rapids and did generate an extreme danger for thousands of people that were traveling on roads in downtown Grand Rapids along the interstate system. Obviously, the hostages that we talked about earlier. But there are three things that are going to happen in this clip you're going to see right now, and I want you to watch. First, we're trying to keep you informed as to the danger that is immediate. It's happening right now. It was all live, happening a little over 24 hours ago. But at the same time, we're trying to keep up with the facts to keep you informed. So I have people standing, I'm standing right here. You won't see me in any of this video, you'll just hear me. And I have people over here that are changing the cameras, people over here that are helping me identify which roads we're actually seeing. Last night, these were all filled with sky cams and MDOT cams all over the place. So it is immediate. This is the part of the coverage in the night where we were actually using the scanner information, the conversation between police cars, something we would almost never do, but it was immediate and you had to know right then because that's when the danger existed. So all of this was us living the moment with you, trying to keep you informed and trying to keep the facts straight. Take a listen to what it sounded like just over 24 hours ago.
This is 96, I believe. 96 going eastbound.
96 going eastbound, and he is putting up a lot of smoke. You see the state police helicopter. He's crossing the median into oncoming traffic. The traffic appears to be slowing down at this point. This is an extremely dangerous situation as he's going east in the westbound lane. As you just saw it there, people had to get out of the way, and this is an extraordinarily dangerous situation. There you see state police and the other vehicles. Now, we are trying to get all of our cameras. You can see how traffic is stopped here. As far as we could tell, the suspect vehicle did not hit any of those cars. We can't be sure of that. Suspect vehicle is now beyond that sign. We can't see that very well, and we'll be going out of a range of our cameras in the next few minutes. But,
They switched.
all right, we switched the cameras now. Let's get a closer look of where we think the suspect vehicle. I believe if you look in the middle of your screen, you can see the suspect vehicle on the shoulder going the opposing way. Cars are getting out of the way. The police continue to follow. This is an amazing scene. You can see right here, there's a news live van right in the middle of the whole show. And now here you have the suspect vehicle that is traveling. And John, help me out one more time. You believe he is traveling?
I believe we're traveling eastbound in the westbound lane.
Eastbound in the westbound lane. Tell me what this intersection that he's coming up to.
This would be Plainfield up here.
All right, so this is Plainfield. He's going the wrong direction on this highway, and you see the police cars over here that are still in pursuit. Others have come over here, but there's nobody in front of him. So traffic that is beyond that, unbeknownst to them, is a person who is now clearly desperate, who is going the wrong way down this very busy section of freeway. And Brian, that's how it started to unfold. Here's what we didn't know was going on last night. Yes, he had run over spike strips. He'd run over those in the downtown area, so his tires had already shredded going down 131. You mentioned he was just running on rims, and that's exactly right. The other thing that we didn't know was as that car was traveling up 131, there were actually law enforcement officers that were behind barricades, those cement barricades as you come on the on-ramps, that were firing at that car as it went by, and he was firing back. So there was live fire on the highway. You know, you could kind of tell, but you couldn't say for sure that's what it was. But one of our folks was right there on the scene and heard and observed all of that. So there was a great deal of danger to the public at large, and it's one of those rare occasions when the danger is so immediate and it affects potentially thousands of people that are out there on the streets. And I think that despite the horrible tragedy, one of the things that we have to be somewhat thankful about is that more people weren't injured, because when he started down that wrong way, that could have been a very deadly situation.
Rick, it's heart-stopping watching it all over again, and you bring it up. So many more people could have been injured in that incident. It is amazing. But no one else
And he was firing indiscriminately. We saw 4 or 5 bullet holes in the police car downtown. He had a semi-automatic weapon that he could have been firing at any point. And so this was a very dangerous, very emerging situation, one that we felt it was important that we get to people as